Okay, well, this will be the last live stream that I do today in my little program that I had sort of scattered around in my little brain. You will find the start time for this video down in the description if you want to get past all of this and my sound check and me giving time for people to get into the room. Now, normally what I do is I will present everything first before I open it up for questions and answers and feedback from people watching the live stream. And I'm going to follow the same pattern because it works pretty well, and I think that most people enjoy it being done that way. The sound seems to be fine, so that's good. You will let me know if there's any issues with the sound quality or if there's any problems with the video quality. I'm going to do my best to make sure that all of that sort of works out pretty well. Okay, so the homunculus. Now I'm going to switch myself over. I'm being notified. Apparently I'm being notified. How's it going, F Hubba? Okay, so let's get started. Let's get into this. Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5e monster tactics. And yes, we're going to talk about the homunculus. It is one of those peculiar creatures that you can use in your game. It has a very low challenge rating. It has like a 0 challenge rating, in fact. So how do you use the homunculus in your Dungeons & Dragons adventure or games? How do you do that and be effective? Well, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to wind back the clock a bit and try to remember a movie called The Golden Voyage of Sinbad. In that particular movie, there was a homunculus, a little creature with wings that was created by the evil sorcerer. And that particular movie actually indicates how you should play out your homunculus. So the way that that creature responds and interacts with the player's characters or the characters in the movie is the same thing you want to do. That is how you play a homunculus or a wizard construct of any kind. Use that as your template. That means that this is not a combat monster. The homunculus is not a combat monster. It is a spy. What sort of things are going to be useful for a homunculus? Why would you actually create one of these things? Well, a wizard, a mage, a sorcerer will create a homunculus because, one, they act as very, very good spies. They are a scout. They can be used as a scout to scout out things. They can be used to pass messages from one place to another. And they can act as a servant to just carry small items back and forth to the creator should they want that sort of thing to take place. So I'm not going to roll out a battle map for this. There's no point. I just said it's not a combat monster. So that means there's no point actually having a battle mat or miniatures or anything like that. Use all theatre of the mind. There's really no point in doing it any other way. So what do you do if this creature does get into combat? What can you do? Because generally what you should be doing with this creature is you should be making sure that it's hiding and scurrying around and not being seen. And it's doing its job as a scout and a spy. But what do you do if you do get into combat? Let's have a quick discussion about that, shall we? What I would recommend to you is start off with the basics. It comes down to cover where you can hide and put yourself. So you're going to take the dodge action and fly up and away because it can fly 40 feet if there is no cover anywhere for you to hide behind or get behind with your little creature. If there is cover available within reach, within flying speed of 40 feet, then use the disengage action and fly up and away to wherever that particular cover is. You can use, if you're not already engaged in close quarter combat, then move and use the stealth action. Okay, make a stealth, get your dungeon master, hopefully your dungeon master will allow you to make a stealth check, find some cover and try to hide. Total cover is better than light obscurity or heavy obscurity. So that's what the creature would be looking for. Remember, this creature is actually a reflection of the creator, the mage, and the wizard, and they are quite bright. They should be able to figure these sorts of things out. Make sure you're flying. Do not be walking around, flying up and away like Superman. And fighting only should happen when they're trapped. If you trap the homunculus, or the homunculus is grappled in some way, then that is the time that you're going to use an attack, because its attack is really insignificant. The homunculus does not have a particularly good stealth or dexterity modifier. It's only a +2. So my suggestion to you is you could beef that up a little bit by giving it some advantages as the dungeon master and make it a little bit more interesting. Otherwise, it's going to really struggle to hide and stealth around. If you're rolling a 20-sided dice and adding a +2, the chances are the player's characters, if there's 4 to 6 of them, are going to notice this creature almost pretty much all of the time. So that's not going to be very helpful to you. So you need to be patient. This creature has to rely on its tiny size and total cover. So be patient when moving from one piece of cover to another so you do not reveal the location of this creature. Otherwise, she's all over, mate, and there's nothing that you can do about it. How do you create a homunculus? Well, the simple fact is a homunculus is created by rare magic through a ritual, usually by shaping some sort of figurine, using clay, ash, mandrake root, and blood from the creator, the mage, the wizard who's actually creating this thing. Now, you don't necessarily have to use blood from the creator, but I think that's far more interesting, and it sort of means there's definitely a tie between the creator and the homunculus, the construct. The homunculus construct acts as an extension of the mage. That means they share their thoughts, their senses, that sight, hearing, smell, are all linked. They have a mystical bond that allows them a connection unlike any bond that you would normally come across. They share languages, so the homunculus will understand the same languages as the wizard or mage or sorcerer who created it. You can only ever have one homunculus, and creating a second one will not work because it will fail. It will not come to life. When the creator dies, the homunculus will also die, but if the homunculus dies, it does not mean that the creator dies. In the past, it would cause a little bit of pain or anguish, or it would damage or drain the psyche of the wizard or creator. In Dungeons & Dragons 5e, that's not the case. My suggestion to you is ignore that, and when the homunculus is destroyed, have it affect the wizard, mage, sorcerer, or creator in some way, because that's far more interesting. Now, last point. A smart wizard who has access to many magic items and spells will find a way for the homunculus to have invisibility. It doesn't necessarily have to be greater invisibility, but the lesser version of invisibility would make a huge difference to a creature that really will struggle trying to find a way of hiding from those dastardly adventurers. So if you have any questions or feedback on this particular video, let me know now. If you want to watch more of my videos, I do appreciate it. There's plenty for players and dungeon masters. I have a Patreon account now, so you can go and check it out there and support the channel by funding me there. I have affiliate links down in the description for the book depository and Amazon, which you can also help support the channel because I get commissions from that. Now remember, share, like, and subscribe. You can hit the bell button if you really want, but I live stream so much it's probably not going to be necessary. But if you don't want to miss those, by all means hit them. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. Okay, I'm not gone, but I am just going to pull up the camera and make sure that my head is in the middle, and that seems to be roughly where I need to be. We'll pop it over. Let's see how we're going. Okay, how's it going? F-Hubba, run away. Yes, exactly. The homunculus is not the sort of creature that you want to have engaged in battle. I mean, I did not go through the monster stat block. So I do have the monster manual here, but it is completely pointless. Its armor class is negligible. It's only a 13. It's got 5 hit points. It really can't survive more than one blow. Chances are in the first round it's going to be destroyed if it winds up getting into a fight. So that means that your only option is to do the things that I suggest. Flee and run away, but just running away isn't going to be enough, because remember, when you can fly upward, usually the characters can't fly 40 feet upward, so you can get out of reach. So make sure to use the dodge action if you don't have cover. Otherwise, the creature's going to be destroyed pretty easily. It has only a speed of 20 feet on the land, so why would it ever bother to land and do something unless it has no other choice, because the space is so small. Immunity to poison and being charmed, or the charmed condition, all very nice, but it's got that telepathic bond, so it can communicate with its creator. Well, it did talk a little bit about that, but it does actually specify that there is a telepathic bond between the creature and its bite. Really, it's the poison damage that it does, provided you wind up taking the poison damage, because it's only going to do 1 point of damage. It is not a combat monster. And I know a lot of people are going to be saying potentially that, okay, but what about if this creature is fighting alongside the wizard in the wizard's laboratory or study? Well, it doesn't make any sense, because the wizard shouldn't be there with the homunculus, because the homunculus should have warned the wizard that you were coming, or the player's characters were coming. So that's not really something I would suggest. It's not like this creature can hold anybody back for any length of time. Okay, so that's it. I've covered pretty much everything I wanted to cover for today, and I'm going to just say what I normally say, and that is, have a good day, a morning, afternoon, night, wherever you are. Go watch a movie, go get some sleep, whatever you need to do. Look after yourself, your family, and your friends. And until next time, keep rolling those 20s.